I never believed in the supernatural. As a child, I thought all those stories were just made up tales to scare kids. But everything changed that night when I found myself alone in an old house on the outskirts of town. It was 3 weeks ago. I had gone there for work, to inspect the condition of an abandoned mansion scheduled for demolition. That day, the sun was setting and shadows grew longer. The house looked as if it had been waiting for me. Windows shattered, doors creaking in the wind, and walls covered with cracks and mold. I entered with a flashlight and a slight sense of irony. What's so scary about this? Just an old house. But within minutes, I felt that I was not alone. At first, I only heard the creaking floorboards and rustling behind the walls. From time to time, it seemed as if someone was watching me, a cold gaze from the darkness. I attributed this to imagination or wind slipping through the cracks. But then strange things began to happen. In the room where an old fireplace stood, I noticed a shadow. It moved slowly as if crawling along the wall. I froze, my heart pounding harder. The shadow disappeared just as suddenly as it had appeared. I thought, it's just a play of light. But inside, fear started to stir. Things got worse. I heard a faint whisper, barely audible, as if someone was whispering right behind me. I turned around, no one there, only darkness and my own shadows on the walls. At that moment, I felt a cold breeze at my neck, as if someone had passed very close by. I decided to leave, but the door wouldn't open. Was it stuck or locked? It didn't matter. I couldn't get out. Then I heard a voice. It was quiet and hoarse. "You're here? Forever?" I froze in horror. The voice sounded familiar, just like my late grandfather's voice, which I had never heard so close and so clear. I tried to scream, but my voice was swallowed by deafening silence. Suddenly, a figure appeared before me, a tall shadow without a face or eyes. It stood motionless, as if waiting for my move. I felt intense pressure on my chest, as if someone had squeezed my heart with invisible hands. I screamed and woke up. Was it just a dream or reality? I still don't know. The next day, I decided to go back again, to find out the truth. Maybe it's just my mind playing tricks, or is something really alive inside there? When I entered for the second time, the house seemed even more sinister. The walls were covered in dirt and cobwebs. The air was heavy and foul-smelling. In the corridor, I noticed traces of dirt, as if someone had recently walked there. And suddenly I heard that same whisper, "You came." It was slightly louder, slightly clearer than before. I felt cold sweat on my forehead and decided to move further, toward the place where I had seen the shadow earlier. In one of the rooms, I saw an old photograph. People dressed in vintage clothing, all with empty eyes and no smile. On the back was written, "Abandoned Factory, 1923. What does this mean? Why this particular photograph? Suddenly behind me, there was noise. Someone walking down this corridor behind me. I turned around, no one visible. Only the shadow disappeared around the corner. I realized I needed to leave as soon as possible. But again, the door was locked. Then I heard a voice right next to my ear. "You are also part of the game." And suddenly, everything around began to change. Walls cracked and crumbled. The floor started swaying beneath my feet. The air filled with ominous whispers of countless voices simultaneously. I tried to escape this hell, but an overwhelming sense of despair took over me, as if I had fallen into a trap between worlds. That's when I saw his face. My grandfather's face from old photographs, or what remained of him. A disfigured face with empty eyes and a bloody wound on his forehead. He reached out his hand toward me. "You're here. Forever." And then darkness consumed everything. When I woke up at home early next morning, my heart was pounding like crazy. I was alone in my room. Nothing unusual happened. Until I looked at my hand. There were scratches and dirt on it, as if someone had tried to escape from inside me during the night. And most terrifying of all, inside my head, a voice sounded. "You are also part of the game." I try to forget all this, but sometimes at night it feels like a shadow is standing by my bed, or whispering something incomprehensible from the darkness. Maybe it was all just my imagination, or is there some truth hidden inside that abandoned house? I no longer believe in anything except one thing. Sometimes it's better to leave everything as it is and not seek answers where they cannot be found.